per kilometer as well. Thank you.
Please come again. What you said is very interesting. Please come again.
Yeah, thank you. As in e-commerce, I have so many bus that work at 5 kilometers per 1 liter of fuel. So that is what we do to ensure that we track the mileage and to track the liters of fuel consumed per kilometers, just so to arrive at the full efficiency.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes. Someone else is raising his hand. Please, you can go ahead.
Okay. For hours, what we use is 1 kilometer per 0.05 liters. So every kilometer we times it by 0.05.
1 kilometer.
Yeah, for 0.05 liters.
You mean it's 0.5 kilometer to 1 liter?
0.05.
What kind of vehicle are you using?
No, sorry, 0.5 to
1 kilometer.
Yes.
Okay. What type of vehicles are you using?
Okay, truck. Diesel engine.
Yeah, what type of diesel engine truck?
Okay, Howo.
Okay, so if we keep asking ourselves, is there anybody else that the hand is up? Okay, Mr. Shakir wants to. Okay, Mr. Shakir, you can go ahead.
Okay, where I work, so I issue the total kilometer the truck is covering. I multiply it by 0.45. So basically,
even lower.
Yes, basically, if the truck is covering 0 to 300 kilometers, I give him additional, let's say, allowance of 30 liters. So when it's going higher, I give him maybe 50 liters allowance. So it depends on the kilometer it's covering. So, but the basics is 0.45.
For your own vehicles, which vehicle are you using?
We are using OWO trucks.
OWO trucks. Steve, yes. This is part of why we are having conversations like this. You mentioned on this call now that you are using OWO trucks. And Mr. Emmanuel has mentioned 0.5 for the same OWO trucks. I think someone else is raising up his hand. Is that Mr. Adedeji Sikiru? Okay, you can go ahead.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yes, in our company, we are using 0.5 per kilometer.
Is 0.5?
Yeah, per kilometer.
Is 0.5 per kilometer?
Yes, sir.
So what type of vehicle do you use?
We are using Mac and Iveco.
You're using Mac and Iveco. Okay, let us amongst ourselves, we are industry professionals here. What do you think it is the best liter to give per kilometer? Having gotten these feedbacks, Mr. Emmanuel mentioned 0.5, I believe. Mr. Shakiru said 0.45. Mr. Adedeji said 0.5. What do you think is the best for, or what would you think is the best to give any truck? Apologies for some of our friends that are not into trucking, that are probably into vehicle management and the likes. Mr. Shakir, your hand is up.
Sorry, I think Mr. Shakir's hand is up.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Emmanuel, yes, your hand is up. You can go ahead.
Yeah, so before we go into the listener is supposed to be given to each truck per kilometer, I think we also most drivers raise concern that the consumption rate when they are laden is more than when they are empty. So that's what they complain most of the time. And secondly, we do use mixed telematics to calculate this distance. And mixed telematics doesn't give us all the hills and the valleys along the road. I know that it consumes more when the truck is going uphill. So I think we should be giving more than 0.5 for each of these things. But company will always want to make profits out of it. But I believe this 0.5 per kilometer is too small. Especially in some places I have a terrain, rocky terrain, and like it's going to have here. The hills, all those places are going to Taraba, they are much. So we have to take all those into consideration before we now determine how many liter we should give per kilometer.
So, thank you very much, Mr. Emmanuel. That is a fantastic contribution. So what do we think of Mr. Emmanuel's contribution? He said even the 0.5 is not enough. Can we agree on a particular fuel efficiency ratio we should give to these trucks? Is it possible? Would that be possible? Okay, let me just mention that when it comes to fuel efficiency, or if you want to issue for per liter for every km, it is one of the most important discussion or a most important thing a company can do. And the reason is because truck vary from each other. The best you can do when you want to issue any truck fuel is that you need to understand the fuel consumption rate of that vehicle. In Nigeria, the average is that is 0.5 to 1 kilometer. However, it does not mean it is the best. In some cases, vehicles might not be consuming up to that. So you are probably just dashing the driver money, right? And in some cases, because of worn out pistons, the engine has been touched or it has expanded due to continuous work. Because if you notice in Nigeria, we buy a lot of used vehicles. And by that, it means the engine might be consuming more than what it should. So it means that you might be starving the vehicle. So the best thing to do is for every vehicle, you need to understand, because they all come with specification. You need to understand what is supposed to be given to this vehicle. And you actually need to carry out a road test to understand. You empty the tank, then you fill up and then see the kilometer it has covered. I'm not talking the one of mixed telematics. I'm talking the one of the dashboard. You need to see the reading. And then from there, you will know what you've given divided by the kilometer it has covered. That is the best, because a lot of telematics will only look at it from the bird eye view. It is satellite inclined. So they don't really, nothing concern them with the terrain or high hills or down hills. So that is the best you can do. And if you want to do it, you do it per truck. But the difficulty of this is that going after, maybe out of 50 trucks you have, you are now going one after the other to actually know the fuel efficiency ratio. It is very difficult. That is why in Nigeria, the standard actually is 0.5 to 1 kilometer, but it does not mean it is the best. Mr. Emmanuel, you have your hand up. Yeah, Mr. Emmanuel, your hand is up. You want to contribute or? Okay, Mr. Olanrewaju Agbola, your hand is up. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Lukman. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, I have the privilege of working with two multinationals when it comes to trucking in Nigeria. I've worked with TSL and currently I work with BHM. So TSL, my experience while working with them was that when we got the asset new, like the Scanias, so 0.45 was the basic for per km. So, and those trucks were rolling and they were spinning really fine. But over the years, when the engines, after a lot of, traveling around, the wear and tear, then those drivers come back and said 0.45, the fueling gauge ratio we are giving them, we are not enough again. So we had to we have to look at, put some of us in the vehicle to go and look at the consumption rate, looking at the odometer and looking at the terrain, because in the eastern part of Nigeria, we have terrible roads, and going far as Enugu, there's hill along that side, so it consumes more. So my own is, when the assets were, good, new, they tend to be more efficient in terms of fuel issue. But as time goes by, they get wear and tear, and the normal 0.45 couldn't work again. So we have to revert and adjust the calibration. But currently, with BHN, we use 0.55. You can be basically using OWO, while in TSN, we have scanners and actuals. So those are the model which I've had experience with. So really, so my own is when there are new assets, they tend to spin more fuel efficiency, but as time goes by, we need to look at the calibration of fueling again. So that's my submission.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I'll just also add this. When it comes to, like I mentioned earlier, and you've corroborated it, the fact is that it is not a one cap fits all. If you buy your trucks from a vendor, probably a used truck from a vendor, and because TSL is using a 0.5, you decide to use a 0.5, and your driver keeps parking on the road because fuel is not enough, you might be doing the wrong thing. And that is the reason for carrying out this fuel or road test and seeing that you actually know what you are doing. In fact, I have worked in a company where we were giving the OWO is 0.41. Yes, for 40-ton vehicle, we were giving the OWO is 0.41, and they were going and coming back. It was later on we realized that we're spending a lot of downtime on the road, because drivers would get worried and they would say that they run out of fuel. So the next truck going towards that route now will now give him diesel to go and give to that one. That is, so our turnaround time was higher, and then we were losing in terms of having more KM. So you need to actually understand, until we did it on our own, we have to send someone from Lagos to Mubi, Adamawa. That is when we actually got to know that, okay, the fuel was not enough. And for the vehicles that were actually coming back with the same fuel, it is very easy for operations managers or operations directors to say, is it not the same fuel I'm giving this guy that I'm giving you, and why are you now complaining? The truth of the matter is that the ones that were actually coming were backloading without the company knowing. It was until we started doing random tests on the road, which is we started putting people on the road to help us monitor these trucks. That is when we knew. So you actually need to get your act right when it comes to fueling. And it is one of the most important factors when it comes to data and decision making in every company. Fueling is a major expense. Tires is a major expense. Engine oil also is a major expense. So these are very critical aspects that you need to be looking at. Okay, Mr. Sikri has it hand up. You can go ahead. And I see Mr. Emmanuel also. I don't know if this was from the previous conversation. Yeah, Mr. Sikri, you can go ahead.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. I think Mr. Olariwaju has already nipped it in the bud. That's exactly what I want to say. Because in my own company also, we issue 0.55, which are basically OWO trucks. And because the OWO trucks are of different engine capacity,
yeah,
we have 371. So to avoid any issues, then we just give all of them 0.55. So to avoid any parking on the road and complain of any additional fuel. So that's just it on our own side.
Okay. That is fantastic. Thank you. So Mr. Emmanuel, you still have your hand up. You want to say something? Okay. So if you look at KPI selection framework, for any KPI you might want to be looking at, you need to make it, we call it the SMART, which is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, then the double R, which is real time and responsive when it comes to logistics. For specific, you need to clearly define what you are looking at. For measurable, it needs to be quantifiable. For achievable, it should be realistic targets that you can actually meet. Take, for example, you can't be in a trucking business and you say your plan for this month is to reduce your fuel efficiency cost from 0.55 to 0.35. It means your truck will not be carrying load. It will just be blowing empty because it is not achievable. So your target must be achievable. It must be relevant to business goals. Then real time is it should be available at every call. It should be available and then responsive as well. These are things I would expect from anybody. So the next one to look at is vehicle utilization rates. Now we are talking about for asset utilization KPIs. We are now looking at the vehicle utilization rates. So I do not expect anybody in when it comes to trucking or logistics that you don't know how many days in a week or a month that your vehicles are okay to actually work. In fact, in some contracts, it is stated there that, okay, for a month, which could be 30, which could be 31, they expect your vehicle to be okay for, let's say, it could be 28 days, it could be 25 days. I've worked with a company that told us 25 days out of 30 days, the vehicle must be available before they give us a particular amount. They call it fixed. Then the movement now is the variable in terms of the kilometers covered. So you need to actually know how many days your vehicle is operational. And if you know the total number of operational days divided by the total days expected to be in operation, you times that by 100, then you can know your vehicle utilization rate. I'm sorry, I would want to request a minute. I have a rough work of what I plan to do with Excel. So let me just quickly drop this and we can jump into that. Just give me a minute. I'm sorry, just give me a minute. I'm trying to transfer the file. Okay, please confirm if my screen is up. Can you hear me?
Yes, Mr. Lukman, I can see from my end there.
Okay. Okay. I'm trying to get further. Okay. All right. So if you look at this for vehicle utilization rates, like I mentioned, there are times where you get a contract and then the client will tell you that we expect that your vehicle should be available for, let's say, 30 days or 25 days. For reference sake, I'm just doing this as 28 days, which is expected operational days is 28 days, and the actual days is in operation is 25. So for you to get the vehicle utilization rate, it will be 25, which is equal to 25, which is the days in operation divided by 28, right? And if you turn this to percentage, you see that it is 89%. In some contracts, they are going to tell you, okay, your vehicle should be available 25 days. And if you can ensure those vehicles are available for 25 days, there's a certain amount that you are going to earn from having this available. We call that the vehicle utilization rate. And as a manager, as a dispatch person, you should be keeping record of this. And what this also helps is it helps you to actually monitor downtime. When we talk about downtime, it's basically looking at, okay, what has made this vehicle been down for so long? Because, you know, when you buy a new vehicle, at the start, it is always very operational because there's nothing much to repair on it. But when it comes to a particular time, you see that it is becoming, okay, in the workshop, it has been going into the workshop for so long, and that is why you need to be tracking a lot of this. Now, when you track it is when you understand what is making it go into the workshop. Could it be driver handling? Could it be knowledge gap? Could it be maintenance gap? Could it be spare part issue? And that is how you nip issues in the board. So when you are speaking to the director or the owners, you can speak from an informed perspective that these are the issues, these are the issues, these are the issue that is making this vehicle down, or that is making this fleet of vehicles down. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is the essence of having KPIs. Now, if you look just down, you see what I've done when it comes to also tracking averages, right? Okay, let's quickly look at these averages. Now, I would want us to fill this together, and this is how I like tracking my, my vehicles in a day, so that I understand everything that is going on. So let's take, for example, we have a particular vehicle. Let's just use one. And let's assume, I want us to fill this together. Let's assume it is going from, let's say this operation will start from December 1st. And it covered, let's just say 500 kilometer. Let's just say 300 kilometer, first day. Let's just say it covered 300 kilometer for the first day. For travel time, let's assume he spent okay, 10 hours driving, right? Loading time. How many hours did it take to load? Mr. Sikiru, how many hours should we put there that it took the vehicle to load?
At least 3 hours.
For what exactly would the vehicle be loading for 3 hours?
Okay. Cement.
What did you call it?
Cement products. Cement.
Cement. Okay. Let's do 3 hours then. Offloading time. How many hours do you think it might take it? Okay, let's just say 3 hours also. Excessive fuel dump, let's put 1 hour. This is waiting time for order or load. Okay, let's put 2 hours also here. Resting time, let's put 6 hours. R&M, let's put 1 hour. Municipal restriction, okay, let's put another 6 hours. Let's assume municipal restriction, throughout the country, there are some places you don't go during the day when it comes to trucking. Am I correct?
Yes, that's true. For Aba, there's no night driving, so there's no daytime driving. So most time I have to wait till night before you cross Aba and Owerri.
In Abuja, yeah, sometimes last year, I don't know if it has been lifted. You can't drive a truck from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. in Interland, inside the city in Abuja. 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. You can't drive. You have to drive after that. Yes, in Jos, I think it's from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. That is as of last year. I don't know if that law has been relaxed now. I think in Kano, at that point also, there was also stoppage of night driving. So a lot of that then. So that is the reason for municipal restriction. Now, guys, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to break down 24 hours, right? That is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to break down 24 hours into the usage of the vehicle. So that way you can know where the gaps are. If you do this from day to day and you look at this on a weekly basis, you can tell where the gaps are. So for municipal restriction, let's put 8 hours for municipal restriction. Traffic and bad road. It is possible that you are in traffic also. As we speak, the Benin Sapele Road is quite bad. And that stretch can take you almost 3 hours. So let's put 3 hours also. Security issues, let's just leave that blank. Now, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to divide this into a 24-hour cycle. So if we total this now, what do we have? We have 37. It's too much. We need to reduce it to 24 hours. So what should we do? Where should we reduce these numbers from? Okay, let's take this from bad roads first. Municipal restriction. Let's make this. Okay, let's leave municipal restriction.
You can reduce the uploading time.
You can reduce the municipal restriction.
Okay. Let's make it 6 also, right? Okay. Sorry. Let's make it 6 hours also, right? Travel time. Should we reduce the travel time also?
Let's reduce the uploading time.
Uploading time. Okay.
3 hours is too much for uploading.
Okay, let's make it 1 then. What about loading time? Should we reduce that also? Let's make it 2. Let me look at the total of what we have now. I still think we need to. This is 31. We still need to remove 7 to make it 24 hours. Resting time should actually. Time. Okay, let's remove resting time. Let's turn it to 0 because since there's municipal restriction, the vehicle is expected to park, right? Because it can't move. It means that what should it be doing if not resting? Abby? Okay. So what do we have now? We have 23 hours. So we need to make it 24. Let's increase the waiting time for order to load. Okay, yeah. So this we have now. Distance traveled. Please, you all know that this is just hypothetical. It's not a real scenario. That is why I'm doing this. And that is why this is why logistics and technology is interwoven. Why am I saying this? For you to actually capture this, you need to have telematics installed on your vehicle. Am I right?
Yes, you're right.
Yes, you need telematics installed on your vehicle. So I'm just going to copy all of this, right? Let's copy them all, and so that we can just use it for data sake. Okay, so we have all of this data now. Let me zoom out a bit. So, can you still see my screen? I hope it's not too tiny. Okay, so we have all of this now. Distance traveled, we filled it up. Travel time, loading time, offloading time, assessing for dump, waiting time to load, resting time, repairs and maintenance hours, municipal restriction, traffic and bad road. All of this now. Now, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make sure that we capture everything that a truck does. This might not be applicable to everyone. I'm just trying to use this to gather data, so to speak, right? That is the essence of having this data. So when we look at averages, if you're going for your operations meeting and you're asked, okay, what is the average distance traveled for this your particular truck? Okay, let's call the truck Navya 001. So for Navya 001, for the week in review, what was the average distance covered by the vehicle? You just look at this, the average is 300, right? And how do you get averages? I think it has been mentioned before. But if you don't get it, it's equal to average. Then when you drag this down, it gives you your average, which is 300. I hope you're following me. I'm just trying to, I don't want to make this an Excel class. That is why I have all this coming up. For travel time, if you're asked what is what is the total distance done by the vehicle, for those that do not know. Now, the truth is, you have your telematics installed on the vehicle, which is very important for visibility. You have your telematics installed on your vehicle. It could be mixed telematics, it could be Navision, it could be, I say Navision, NovaTrack, it could be AppTrack, it could be, there are so many of them. There are so many, I can't start to mention. From NovaTrack to AppTrack to Loconav to Galuli, there are so many of them. And there is a lot you can do with them. But just ensure, no matter how small, that your vehicle comes with a tracker. The reason is for visibility and then to actually make informed decision. Because our industry is one filled with people that lie a lot. So you need a counter measure to look at what they are doing. So with your tracker installed, you can get the total distance covered by a vehicle in a day, right? I want to believe everybody can do that. So from there, even if your dashboard is not working on your vehicle, you can get tracker installed, and then that will get you the total distance covered in a day. If you sum that up in a week, you should be able to get it. If you sum that up in a month, you should be able to get it total distance covered. So total distance covered in week 1, total distance covered in week 2. By the time you run the average, you should be able to say, oh, this vehicle ran maybe, okay, what is the total? Yeah, total distance covered. Yeah, the total distance covered for this week is 2,100 kilometers. You should be able to, okay, in the following week, if the vehicle is making, let's say 400 kilometers for the total week, you should be able to say there's an issue. And that is what you need to look at. So total distance covered is a metric you can look at. And then from the total distance covered, you can look at the average distance covered, right? Average distance covered. For you to get the average distance, it means you look at the total distance it has covered divided by the number of days. Now, this thing I'm showing you, I would want to, for anybody in trucking and logistics, and if you're a fleet or a logistics manager, you can imbibe this type of, I know there are so many ways you look at numbers, but this is one of the best that can actually tell you everything because you understand where the issues are. And you need to actually, not just to copy this one I'm doing, you copy it and start using it. You need to look at what your own industry actually is, right? It might not be like this. If you're running a courier business, that is a bike business, your own might be different. It might not be, you might not need to be assessing fuel dump where you get fuel, right? You might not be, what other thing do we have here? You might not need to be wasting your time for municipal restriction if you're working within a city. Let's say you are in Calabar. I'm not sure there's restriction of bikes there. When it comes to inside Lagos also, there are courier services also that are with bikes, and they are not restricted not to carry food anywhere. So you might not be restricted. So you might have to remove a lot of these factors that I've put here to suit your own. But for every time, you need to actually know what you're doing and what exactly is happening. It will make you understand what is taking your time most when it comes. A lot of times, right? Part of the issue we have in logistics is actually maintenance. And for your maintenance also, you should be able to have something in place that is telling you the most occurring fault you are having in the vehicle. It is absolutely important so that you can hold your operations team, you can hold your maintenance team accountable. And if you are the one in maintenance also, you can hold your mechanics also accountable for why you're having these issues. Take, for example, if you're having fuel pump issue, you should be saying, is the diesel you are getting bad? Is the petrol bad? And if it is not bad, could it be that drivers are tampering with the fuel tank by siphoning diesel or siphoning your fuel, right? So if you're having persistent fuel issue, those are, if you notice you're having it, those are the type of question you should begin to ask yourself. If you're having electrical issue, exactly what is happening? Could it be that driver is tampering? Because we have some drivers, they are not used to using keys to start vehicles. They are so good with joining wire. So if you're having such issue, you should be able to say what exactly is the problem. And these are some of the things you need to do as an operations person, as a fleet person, as a logistics person. So in 24 hours now, by the time you've divided your routine into different hours, your KPI should be that, okay, how can I reduce this amount of loading time, this very large amount of loading time I'm having? Is it that I need to speak with the clients that this needs to be reduced, right? Is it that we need to look at other routes because we are spending too much time on municipal restriction? If you look at this, for a week, municipal restriction alone has accounted for, sorry, a minute. Just a minute, sorry. Okay, like I was saying, I said for municipal restriction, we can see that it is actually eating a lot into what the vehicle should be actually doing more, but municipal restriction is actually making it not do more. If out of a week we are having to spend 42 hours of what should be a productive time, it is time we meet the client and say, can we get new places so that we can actually do more? Because for so many contracts, it is that the number of kilometers you cover, that is how much you are getting. So please give us new routes so we can get more. That is what this does. That is what this does by looking at data. For traffic and bad road, you might need to start looking at other alternatives. Are there other routes you can take that can save you this unnecessary cost? And you know, with traffic and bad road, it means that you've been having a lot of suspension issues when it comes to the vehicle. So these are quite important things you need to be looking at as a logistics and fleet person. Okay. Now, I think we've looked at vehicle utilization rates. I'm looking at the slide now. We've talked about the vehicle utilization rates. We might just have to do something about that. Let me share this. I want to drop the slide on WhatsApp so we can all follow along. Or should I just do it after the class? Let me get your feedback. The slide, should I drop it now or do that after the class?
Please, Mr. Lukmo, you can drop it after the class, please.
After the class.
Okay. All right, so moving on, after looking at vehicles, so the benchmark, it depends on the contract you're getting, but for vehicle utilization rate, like I mentioned, which is the operational days divided by the number of days a vehicle is expected to be up. If your company does not have that, it might be the time to look at it, because you don't expect your vehicle for the whole 30 days, it should be operational. So you need to actually set up some days to say, these are the days we are going to be doing the maintenance, the repairs and maintenance out of the 30 days. It might be 1 day, it might be 2 days, it might be 3 days, but you need a benchmark to say, okay, these are number of maintenance days and these are number of operational days. With that, you'll be able to calculate your vehicle utilization rate. I've also touched on the averages. The averages basically looks at a lot of this, from distance travel to travel time to loading time, offloading time, assessing for dump. And like I mentioned, this might not be everything that you're supposed to have. So you might just suit it to your taste. For cost per kilometer, you need to also know how much your vehicle is consuming per kilometer. If you understand these metrics, it makes you speak from an informed angle. So how do you calculate it? Number one is to understand what your revenue is, right? And then once you understand your revenue, okay, let's say, for example, Navya 001 now is meant to go to Kano from Lagos. And we are charging, for a flatbed, we are charging 3.1 million for this. We are charging 3.1 million naira for this. Okay. So for you to know your cost per kilometer, right? You need to know the number, you need to understand all the expenses you incur on that vehicle, right? Divided by the kilometer traveled. That is how you get your cost per kilometer. Again, the total cost of expenses, right, divided by the kilometer traveled. That will give you your cost per kilometer. And the same with your revenue per kilometer. Your revenue per kilometer now would be that the total revenue divided by your costs, your total revenue divided by your kilometer. Now, let's quickly do, and if anyone has map there, let's just do it from Lagos to Kano and back. What is the total km?
Let me check on this.
What did you say?
Lagos to where? Lagos to where?
I'm sorry, that wasn't clear.
Which kilometer are you calculating? From Lagos to where?
I didn't hear what you said.
I was asking which kilometer are we calculating from Lagos to which state?
Lagos to Kano.
Lagos to Kano. Okay, I'm on this. So
Yes.
check.
Okay,
do you
so
use estimate or do you get the exact one?
What did you say?
Do you use an estimate or do you use the exact figure?
There is no way we will get the exact. It is always estimate because the offloading point or the offloading point would always be several areas. You know, it's just that is what I was saying about telematics. It can only give you a better view of what it is.
1,910.
I'm already on telematics. So I wanted to check.
1,910 kilometer.
1,910 kilometer. Okay, thank you very much. So if we are charging 3.1 million naira for Lagos to Kano, and the total KM is 1,910. 1,910 is to and fro, right?
Yes.
Thank you very much. So for you to get your revenue per kilometer, it is 3,100,000 divided by 1,910. So it means you are gaining 1,623 naira per kilometer. Now, this is not the entire story. You should also factor that what is your cost per kilometer. Now, this is more exciting if you're dealing with fixed and variable. I know some of my colleagues on the call are quite familiar with fixed and variable. So that is where this becomes very important. Now, when you are looking at your cost per km, you add your repairs and maintenance, you add your diesel cost, you add driver salary, payment on the road, which can be toll charges, it can be any charge on the road that you are going to make. So for this one, let's say we spent a total of, let's say 40,000 naira on the road, right? 40,000 naira on the road. Let me make this a bit more. One of the first things I'll do when I become president is to see that any laptop coming into the country would have Nigeria this thing, not US currency. And that means we have to ensure that we are producing our own this thing. So yes, okay. So for our cost per kilometer, it would be, what is the total cost? I think 40,000 is too small if you have to consider you have to pay drivers and everything. So let's just put 200,000. So our cost per kilometer would be that the total cost expended on this trip. What am I saying? It can't be this. We have to buy fuel. How many fuel are we going to give him per this? From Lagos to Kano. That would be, what should we use? 0.5, right? So is 0.5, sorry, this should be general, yes. Revenue.
955 liters.
Okay. What did you call it?
955 liters. 955.
955 liters. Thank you very much.
As well, we use 0.5.
Okay, 955 liters. This is the literage. Okay. Is 0.5 is our fuel efficiency ratio. Is there anybody that does not understand what I'm doing? So I can quickly speak on it. Okay, we are trying to get our cost per, we're trying to get our cost per kilometer. We are trying to get our revenue per kilometer for a trip to Kano. So we said we are charging, let's not even talk about the revenue aspect now. Okay, let's just leave revenue. We say we are charging 3.1 million for this Kano trip. We want to carry bag of rice from Lagos to, no, let's even say we want to, what is that one thing we export a lot from Lagos to Kano? Okay, let's say we are exporting machineries, let's say Bajaj bikes from Lagos to Kano, and they need our truck to do this. So we are charging 3.1 million for this assignment. How much, and we also said that the fuel efficiency for this is 0.5, right? The fuel efficiency is 0.5. The liters given is 9.55. And how do we get it? We said is 0.5. Let's do it together. Is 0.5 times 1,910 will give us 955. So this is the fuel we are going to be giving this is the fuel we are going to be giving the vehicle. So we want to now, okay, so 955, how much is diesel now presently? I think he owes around 900 and something naira. So we can understand the diesel cost also. Diesel costs is how much? Let's just say 950. Let's say
950.
1,000 per liter.
Where are you, Mr. Emmanuel? Where do you reside presently?
Okay.
998.
Ikorodu, Lagos.
Ikorodu, Lagos, and you're buying diesel for 1,000 naira. Okay. Who else has? Somebody is trying to say something.
Yeah, 998 prudent.
998 prudent.
Yeah,
okay.
Prudent.
1,030 naira for documents.
Sorry, I didn't hear what the last person said.
1,030 naira from Northwest at Bagada.
I thought diesel has come down. Why am I hearing this in Lagos?
In Calabar, from petrol station, we do get up to 1,150.
Wow. Why I'm saying this is because presently I'm in South, and you know, the price of fuel starts to increase when you get to Edo. So I don't expect the price that we seem to be buying here. As of last week, it was around 1,036 naira, around South region, and Southwest normally should be around 900 and something. So you saying in Bagada and in Ikorodu, you are buying for 1,000 and upward. It's quite alarming. So diesel cost per km is, okay. This cost per km is now around, no, per liter, sorry. Is now around 98 naira. So if the liters of diesel we want to get is 955 naira, come sorry a minute. Okay, so if the diesel we want to get per liter is this, and let's just get the amount now of diesel we are going to be needing. And mind you, you also need to understand the type of diesel you are getting when it comes to fleet and logistics. There are some that you are buying rice and beans. It means it has been mixed. And so you need to actually find proper means of getting your diesel. If not, you'll be buying diesel that the burn rate is quite high, and then it will spoil your injectors and rotor if you're using rotor. So for diesel amount, it will be now around 98 naira per kilometer, which we are using, right, times hold on. Per liter is now around 98 naira. So we are supposed to get the total liters. Okay, that's now around 98 naira times 955. Am I correct? Yeah, so this is the diesel amount. If we now look at the, please, are we together?
Yes, we are together.
Yes, so okay. So for this Kano trip now, let me just do this again for those that are just joining us. For our revenue, we are charging 3.1 million for this Kano trip, right? We are charging 3.1 million for the Kano trip. The total kilometer that we said the truck is going to cover is 1,910. Mr. Adepoju, you have something to say? Okay, so for the kilometer to be covered is 1,910 when we checked from Lagos to Kano and back. The costs we say we are going to expend on the road, which includes paying the driver, which includes paying the driver, which includes the driver allowance, paying the motor boy, and every other thing. We pegged it at 200,000, right? For diesel, okay, let's even say part of this cost is also maintenance cost. Maybe when you go to the road, you said this fuel pump is faulty, and we had to pay for this and every other thing. And then we also had the diesel amount, right? The diesel amount is now around 53,000, which is almost $1 million alone for this trip. So if you want to get your revenue per km, it will be that you're looking at total revenue divided by the total kilometer traveled. So your total revenue is 3.1 million divided by this. That is how we got this. Let me do it again. So your total revenue will be that how much are you getting from this, right? Divided by the kilometer covered, which is 1,910. It will give you, it means for every kilometer covered, you're getting 1,623 naira. But what about your total cost? What is your total cost per km? You need to know your total cost per km also. So for total cost per km, let's just do this beneath. So what and what is your cost here? Your diesel amount is your cost, right? Your other cost also is also here as well. Am I correct?
Yeah,
Let's just
yeah.
put this as other. Let's put this as other cost. So your other cost is this 200,000 and the diesel amount that you spent. If we add the two together, H9 plus this, you get 1,153,090 naira. Okay, so for you to get your cost per kilometer now, it is this divided by the total kilometer covered. That is 603 naira. Do we all understand this?
Can you please come again, sir?
Okay, for you to get your cost per kilometer, it means you have to look at the total cost divided by the kilometer traveled. So if you look at the cost we have here, we said 200,000, which covers the money we are paying to drivers, right? This other cost you are seeing, the 200,000 you are seeing here, which is the money we are paying to drivers, which is the money we are paying to for maintenance and everything. And then we added the diesel amount here as well. The diesel amount now is looking at the amount of diesel we are going to buy for this trip, which is 998 naira per km, right? And we are going to be needing 955 of this. That is how we got this 953,000. That's the diesel amount. If you add the diesel amount and the cost, the other cost, we are going to get 1,153,000. If you divide 1,153,019 naira divided by the kilometer going to be covered, you are going to get your cost per km. Now, can somebody help me with the profit per km? For every kilometer covered, what is the profit that this vehicle is going to bring in? Can somebody help me? Or can you just tell me? Please, we don't have much time. Let's do this on time so we can.
Profit per km here.
Profit will be 1,632 minus 603.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That is your profit per km. That is your profit per km. It is very important you understand all of these metrics. So if you have 10 trucks and you are looking at each of them from this angle, you can easily say the vehicle that is the most profitable, because in logistics, numbers hide. You know, like the popular saying goes, men hide, women lie, but numbers don't lie. But sometimes numbers lie. And how is this? You can see a vehicle that would be every day, the vehicle is always on trip, and you say the vehicle is bringing in money. But if you look at the maintenance and maybe the fuel consumption of that vehicle, you see that it is quite high. And when it is quite high, it means low profitability. Do you understand what I'm saying? So from this now, you can say that, okay, like Mr. Imar said, 1,623 minus this will give you our profit. It means per km, this truck is earning 1,019 naira. However, it does not end there. Some other things we should also look at is the turnaround time of this vehicle. Take, for example, okay, for those of us on the call, how many days do you assign for, let's use Kano, for example. What is the turnaround time for your Kano trip from, let's say, Lagos to Kano? What is your turnaround time? Yeah, Mr. Sigiri, go ahead.
Yes.
How many?
7 days. 7 days from Lagos to Kano. 7 days.
Does that include your offloading?
Yes, everything. Come back to Lagos.
7 days. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Do we have any other person?
Yes, it's 7 days. 7 days to and fro.
Okay.
Round trip.
Thank you very much. Now, okay, so for you to calculate your on-time delivery now, for you to calculate your on-time delivery, you need to understand that, okay, if you're saying your vehicle is supposed to use, okay, that means let's say 3 days going, right? 3 days coming, right? Outbound 3 days, inbound 3 days. Then let's say offloading days, 1 day, right? Mr. Sikiru, are we flowing? So if it is that
You are
way,
right, absolutely.
okay, 3 days to go, 3 days to come back. So for you to calculate your on-time delivery, it means that if you are for your Kano trip, your vehicle needs to be at that customer location in 3 days. Anything that makes it not hit that 3 days, it means you're not delivering on time. And that is how to calculate your OTD, your on-time delivery. Now, if you look at, let's say you're going to Kano, you're expected to go to Kano 4 times in a month. And for the 4 times in a month, you could only meet the three days targets only 2 times. It means that your on-time delivery is only 50%. Right? Are you getting what I'm saying? Please, I need to confirm. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, because
Okay, I'll take
that's why it's why it will take you 14 days. So that's why I say 50%.
I'm sorry, can you take that again? I didn't hear that. Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir.
Okay, you were saying something. I didn't quite get that.
The twice will take you 14 days if you're able to achieve twice in a month. I think that's why I said 50%. That's why I said 50%.
Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that yes, your on-time delivery would be that it is already pegged for you that it should take you 3 days to get to Kano. And anything that makes you deviate from that 3 days, it means you're not achieving your on-time delivery rate. Say, for example, now, today is Sunday, you're expected to be in Kano okay, if you move on Monday, you're expected to be in Kano. Let's say we are starting from Monday, Tuesday, Thursday morning, you should be in Kano. Anything that makes you deviate from that, it means you're not hitting your on-time delivery rate. Let me drop down this slide and let me just share. Okay. Because of our time, I might not be doing a lot of the calculations again, but let's flow so that we all get something from this. Okay, I hope my screen is up. Please confirm. Please confirm my screen is up.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving forward, let's just look at we don't have much time, so I'll try to cover as much as I can for this. Next up is the empty running ratio. Now, it is also important that you understand when your truck is running empty. And that is also a place you might want to look at in terms of the costs that you are actually burning. If you're coming from, let's say you're coming from this Kano after delivering the machines we talked about, you should find a way to actually backhaul, because sometimes backhauling cost alone accounts for about 30% of your total cost. So you might want to look at it, because by coming empty, you know you are going to pay for driver. You are paying for this product you're coming back with. And it will definitely erode on your profit margins. And that is why it is important to look at ways that you can actually ensure that you're not just running empty when you're coming back. It is something you need to look at. And it is a part of the reason why it is being said that fleet and logistics business is actually not that profitable. But in the actual sense, it is. We've seen people start from one vehicle to having thousands of vehicles, right? So it is something we should also look at, and something, if you're in any company, you should also be looking at the cost of running back empty. Some of the things we are going to look at next is the cost efficiency KPIs. And I think we've looked at this. From that thing I showed you earlier, you can also break it down from the other costs. How much are you paying? How much are you paying for your maintenance? How much are you paying for your drivers? What is the percentage of? A lot of things you can look at. For total cost per km, I think we spoke about this when it comes to total cost per km. We've looked at that total cost per km, and I want to believe we all understand that. Is there anybody on the call that does not understand? I want feedback, please. Is there anybody that does not understand that total cost per km that we did the other time? Okay, I'll take that as a feedback that we all understand that. However, if you do not, I'm going to put it on the platform so that we all can see for ourselves, and we should try and build on it. So the next one I'm going to be looking at is fuel consumption index, and it is something that we discussed at the start of the session. For a lot of persons, we are looking at it from, for trucking, we said 0.5, somebody mentioned 0.45. I mentioned I've seen, I've worked in a place that we pegged it at 0.41. But I would mention the major cost drivers, like I mentioned earlier, for any of your fleet or logistics business is fuel. Fuel is number one. As you can see in that, the little theory we just did together, out of 3.1 million, we spent 953,000 on fueling alone, and that is a whole lot. That is a whole lot, and that is what you should be looking at when it comes to your expense, tracking your expenses. It is something you should always look at. Also, another thing I would also want to mention, okay, we'll get to maintenance, so I'll just mention that. So please, you need to always track your fuel consumption. And maybe in the course of the week, I might share a template we can also use for fuel consumption. So, and when it comes to fuel consumption, I know there are different ways that people have been looking at it. I don't know what it is in your company or your industry, but I've seen where tanks are being padlocked for drivers. I've seen where we had to install fuel monitoring software so that we can actually seal fuel theft, we can seal fuel spillage, we can seal tampering. I've seen situations where we've installed cameras on vehicle for us to monitor live. So you have to do whatever works for you best, right? So I don't know, let's talk. In your company, how do you do it? How do you monitor your fuel? How do you monitor your fuel efficiency? Please, guys, we need to talk. Oh. Let's make this conversational.
In hours to manage the fuel efficiency, what to do is when a driver loads, you make use of Miss Telematics. we track the offloading point of that driver. So at times, a driver is given maybe 290 liters for Port Harcourt. That's from Calabar to Port Harcourt. The driver might, in the event of his journey, offload before he gets to Port Harcourt, or he's routed to somewhere else. So in that event now, what we do is to calculate the offloading point where he offloaded, then use Mr. Marty, then we deduct to see if he is to retrieve, you find out whether you have to retrieve the gas from him or you have to add additional AGO for him.
How do you add additional AGO? By you send him money to buy?
No, okay. In most cases, if you have to add the AGO, you can send him money to buy, or we look for the nearest filling station there, which will have their contact. He gets it from there, they will pay.
Okay. Well, that is fine. However, I have a question. At the point of, let's say, a driver wants to move from Calabar and you're sending a vehicle to Port Harcourt. Okay, the customer says, my location is in Port Harcourt. But you know, Port Harcourt is quite big. And even close to Port Harcourt is a place called Aoda. And if the driver is now going to Aoda and not Port Harcourt, because the customer has said Port Harcourt, but the actual location is Aoda, how do you calculate such fuel? And because whatever telematics you are using is a bird eye view. And I'll give you an example. If I'm in Benin presently and a customer calls and say, I need you to send something to Lagos. Lagos is quite big. The Lagos the person is talking about might be bigger. The Lagos the person I'm talking about Ojudu Bega. The Lagos the person is talking about might actually be the end of Lagos. It might be Badagry. So how exactly are you going to account for this? Because I know that what every telematics does, or even up to Google Map, or even if you are using Apple or whichever map you are using, they'll just peg a particular kilometer they'll just peg a particular location for you, and the rest is up to you. How do you account for all these other kilometers that were unaccounted for?
Okay, in this case, what we need, Lafarge has factored all this before they has factored all this into their kilometers. For example, someone going to that's where drivers benefit now. A driver going to leaving Port Harcourt gas, once he steps into Port Harcourt, whether he uploads when he gets into Port Harcourt or they use the furthest distance. If this is Port Harcourt, the furthest distance of Port Harcourt, that's what the kilometer they use to time it. So if the driver uploads either at the as he steps into Port Harcourt or outside Port Harcourt, somewhere close to the outside Port Harcourt, that all has been factored into the this thing they are giving him.
Mr. Emmanuel, I think the difference we are having is that you are working in a structured environment, and it's almost as if every customer has been accounted for. So the location is quite known to everyone. So yours is quite structured. I need someone that they don't have that structure in their environment. I'll give you an example. I'm working in an oil and gas space. And
hello?
Okay, Mr. Abiodun, just before you enter, let me finish so that you can maybe answer it all together. Let's say we are all working in an unstructured environment. We operate a depot of an oil and gas depot, let's say. And a customer calls and say, okay, I heard that the product that you guys have is quite good. Can you deliver to Kano? And you know Kano is quite big. In fact, I think it should be top 5 of the biggest places in Nigeria. Me and you understand that the next thing we'll do is that we carry our map out and plot the graph and say what is the to and fro from Kano. But what if it is the end of Kano and it's getting close to Jigawa? How do we factor it? So, Mr. Bedin, you can go ahead. Mr. Shakir, go ahead.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. So on like my own operation, because we deliver gas, so we carry gas. So we don't have any structured location. Basically, we have our offices in 3 different locations: Abuja, Port Harcourt, and Ondo. So currently now, so a truck might pick a product from Port Harcourt in Port Harcourt. going to Abuja. So when he gets to Abuja, he might need to pick another load in Lagos, Renoy. So all these things, basically what I used to do is I make use of my Google map for calculating their route. So when I calculate their route, I'll be able to know that, okay, this is the KM they are covering. Basically, when, say for instance, now I pick Abuja, the map will give me the city center of Abuja. So when it gives me the city center, I'll be able to know that, okay, whatever this I'm giving you, I will be able to account for it at the end of the day. If we are going to Lagos, it will give me city center, even if you are picking products in Dangote. So it will give me the city center. And if you are going to Rain or maybe Ijegun, then it will be able to give me exact location. So that's why where our diesel allowance of 30 liters, 50 liters comes in. So we'll be able to account for, okay, where you go extra leg, to be able to account. So if you are saying that, let's say for instance, you are loading from Ore to Akure, so I'll be able to pick from that point where you are. I'll be able to pick your location from my Miss Telematics. That, okay, this is the current location you are. Your destination will be my next point of action on the Google map. So I'll be able to know your the two legs you are covering. I'll be able to multiply it and get your KM. So because basically we don't have any base that is being stored, because our truck might not even get to our logistic base in the next 2-3 months. So they just move around. So I'll be able to. So we have factor a base for that we are using. That we are using Kwale as our base. Whichever way, if you are going to Lagos from Abuja, yes, in Delta. So what we do is, if I want to fuel you in Abuja, I'm going to subtract your diesel from Benin Center to Kwale. So there's a way I used to do it. I will subtract the two there from Benin Center to Kwale. So it's just quite technical when I'm calculating this, because we don't really have a structured base. Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The reason why I'm saying this is that I'm not sure it is going to end anytime soon when driver will complain that you didn't give them enough, or because everybody understands that fueling is a major aspect. So as a fleet and logistics person, you're contending with two people. Number one is the business owner or the top management. Number two is the drivers. Drivers expect you to be considerate with them. Business owner expect you to be accountable to them. So you need to find a balance. And that is where, if I would advise anybody, if you're coming into the logistics space and if you'll be in charge of fuel issuance or issuing or giving drivers the fuel they need, you need to understand what works for you as a person. So that's number one, you don't starve your vehicle, because you might be saving money by reducing fuel costs and increasing maintenance costs. I've seen it several times. You will be saving money by reducing fuel costs, then increasing maintenance costs. And how is this? You can save fuel costs. Let's say if you're doing 0.55, like some of my colleagues mentioned on the call that they were doing 0.55 per kilometer, right? And somebody comes in and says, I want to be doing 0.52. If any driver is not interested, you can bring your key. Fine. Some drivers will say, okay, it's fine, they can do it. But when they get to the road, they sell some of this, they sell the good fuel and they buy adulterated ones and they come back. Then you see that there is an increase in your maintenance downtime. You see that there is an increase. So when you have maintenance downtime, number one, trucks that are meant to be on the road, the opportunity cost of the vehicle being down is that you're losing money. Trucks that are meant to be on the road are down. You're increasing. With time, you're going to say you need to increase the number of mechanics. With time, you're going to say you need to overhaul engines. And that is where the issue starts. When you buy a new vehicle, just to say, when you buy a new vehicle, an European asset, the least it is expected for you to use is 10 years. For 20 years, sorry, for such assets. For the Chinese, from 7 to 10 years. So if by 5 years, year 5, you're already ringing your engine, then you know there's an issue. And that is why you need to track your maintenance cost. But when you're tracking your maintenance cost, you need to also understand what the exact maintenance category you are spending on. Is it the suspension? Suspension mostly will be a factor of either bad roads or traffic, bad roads, basically. Bad road, bad expressways, or the way driver handles the vehicle. Mr. Abiodun, you have your hand up. I don't know if you have something to say. Okay. So most times the pointer towards maintenance when it comes to, I'm speaking about my experience in Nigeria, is that for suspension vehicles, it is mostly with respect to roads, our roads or driver handling of the vehicle. There are some drivers that are very terrible when it comes to entering the gallop. They just ram into it like they don't care. And those type of things affect the suspension. So when you notice you're having a lot of suspension issues, you should look at the route that you're taking. That would inform you either to change the routes or to actually speak with your drivers. Number two, when you're having a lot of fuel-related issues, I'm talking about fuel pumps, I'm talking about injector issues, nozzle issues. I'm very sure the people on the call that are very familiar with Chinese assets. When I'm talking about OWO, you would understand when I'm talking about these injector issues. When it comes to injector, when it comes to nozzle issues, the fuel injector system entirely, then you also need to look at what is the type of fuel you are giving. If you're not buying what we like to call rice and beans, which is adulterated fuel. So if you buy adulterated fuel that the fuel density is not up to what the industry standard should be, you're going to have nozzle issues. You're going to have injector issues. And if your drivers are also tampering with your fuel, every time they are draining fuel or they are putting fuel in, and then mixture of dirt and everything, it is definitely going to affect. Those are some of the things you need to look at. Also, if you're having too much engine issue, then you need to also look at your maintenance team if there's something you are not doing right. Your engine issue could be that they are using engine oil that are not the vehicle standard. For every vehicle, you are going to have your type of engine oil that you're supposed to use. So these are some of the things that you need to look at when it comes to maintenance. It is quite a lot, and maybe in future time, we can look at a lot of these things when it comes to maintenance itself. But definitely it's something we need to look at. For on-time delivery rate, I think I mentioned it. On-time delivery rate is, you need to divide the number of on-time deliveries by the total number of deliveries within a specific period. That is how you get your on-time delivery. On-time delivery divided by total delivery. So you're supposed to do four trips to Kano from Lagos. And you got there, you meet up your 3 days you're expected to do for twice out of the 4 times you're supposed to do. So it means you did 50% of your on-time delivery. That is 2 divided by 4 times 100. You get that. That is how to calculate your on-time delivery. And when you do this, when you're meeting up, when you know the drivers that are doing this, that are meeting their deliveries every time, those are type of the drivers that you need to be celebrating. They are the type of drivers that you need to applaud so that the other drivers can also emulate what they are doing. It is very important in logistics. And why it is important is because if you don't praise the people that are doing right, people will not see the reason to. So please, let's imbibe that aspect also. Our first attempt delivery is, well, would mostly look at delivery aspects. I mean, people in courier business, which is measuring shipment delivered successfully without a return to depot or a delivery. If you're into bikes, courier delivery, you are going to know this. A lot of these companies, I'm talking the likes of Mega Chicken or Food Co. that has a lot of other sister companies that are into delivering food and the likes for people. There is a lot of unsuccessful deliveries because either people reject or people return them back. So you need to be tracking this also if this is the industry you work in. So, and how do you do that? You measure the shipment delivered successfully and then divided by the total number of shipments you're supposed to do. These are very important. There are a lot more that we can look at when it comes to KPIs, but I'm just limiting this to a few of these that we've done today so that we can cover up as intended. Now, there's also the reportable accident rate. Now, how do you measure your accident as well? It is measured by million kilometers. So how do you do this? Number one, you need to look at the total number of accidents that you are having in, let's say, in a year, and then look at the total number of kilometers you are covering. So that will give you your accident rate per km. And then it is this thing that brings confidence for investors. I have worked in places that is what we used to brag, that we are known for safety and ensuring that we don't joke with anything safety. The space I work in right now, which is oil and gas, we've not reported any reportable accidents since the start of the year. And it is because yes, we've reported one, sorry, I just remembered. We've reported one. And why this is happening is because we understand what safety is to business, and then that is why we are actually doing this. And so whenever we have the opportunity also to train people, we let them understand that safety is actually a major parameter when it comes to doing business. And that is why the gap between trucking and airline is because in airspace, safety is different from operation. And that is also what we need to imbibe in trucking and logistics. Safety is different from operation, and one needs to check the other. Once that is done, you will see that there's improvement in your safe KMs. We also have hour of service violation. This one looks at different things. For fatigue, for financial risk, ELD flagging, you need to look at your hour of service. And it's from your hour of service, you need to dedicate time for rest. You need to dedicate time for operational hours. These are, I'm very sure people that are into Lafarge contract that are on this call would understand what I'm talking about. And then it's from there you now look at your ash violation, your speeding, and the likes. Now, when it comes to building a dashboard anatomy, which is if you want to construct your dashboard, this is what you need to be looking at. You need to be looking at the red, amber, and green for all your KPIs. Now, when I talk about the traffic light status, you need to know where you are not performing well. That is what you turn red. You need to know the amber, which is area for improvement, and the green, which is looking at where you're actually doing the best at what you are doing. It could be that you are doing fantastically well when it comes to kilometer covered, and you're lagging in when it comes to maintenance costs. It could be that you are doing well when it comes to travel hour, and you're doing bad when it comes to accident rates, right? These are all of the things you're going to be looking at. And then you need to be looking at it weekly. Look at the weekly trend. You understand what I'm saying? Look at the weekly trend. Those that are faring good, those that are faring bad. Those are some of the things you need to look at. And then you drill it down to driver to vehicle so that you understand the top performance and you know that the bottom performance as well. And then have alerts that are looking at this. You also need to plan, do, check, and act, which is a PDCA cycle. So I'm going to share all of this in our WhatsApp group. I see that we've spent a lot of time on the call, and it's already 5 p.m. already. I'll share this along with the rough work we did today in the WhatsApp group. I don't know if you have any question, comments, or contribution before Mr. Gideon steps in. Any question, any comments? Is there something you want me to speak on before we wrap up the session? Okay. Mr. Gideon, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, please.
Okay. You can take it off from here.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Laide. I would want us to unmute and say a big thank you to Mr. Laide for this session. For me, it's eye-opening, and I believe it is the same for every one of us. Yeah, thank you for those
Thank
that
you very
did.
much, sir.
Thank you, thank you,
Thank you,
thank you.
Mr. Lale. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you
So
very
much
much,
for
Mr.
this
Laide.
opportunity. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So today is the
Olade, thank
final. I believe we're wrapping up the trading already, and I want to say a very big thank you to everyone that's participated from start to finish. Think it's not easy actually joining every weekend, leaving every other thing that you have to join the training, and I believe that we have all learned a lot. I want to give just about two or three persons the opportunity to, share with us what they've learned so far, give us feedbacks, what you would want to see in the future from Navia Blue, what you're expecting other stuffs from us. Just two or three persons who would like to say something, please signify so that we can quickly wrap up. Are there any persons? Are you looking forward to a specific topic that you want us to touch on, and you'd want us to have a training on that, or you just want to give a feedback, overall feedback on the training sessions? Anything, just signify. Or you can go ahead to unmute and just give your piece.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mr.
Thank you very much for organizing this kind of program. It was very, very impactful. But I learned a lot this evening. I really learned a lot this evening, and we want this section, especially this section. I really learned a lot, and I love the way, as in the opportunity given to be part of this program. So I will love the continuation. We can be organized, even paying something, and concerning data. I will just suggest, I don't know if it's possible, it can be physical training concerning the data. So I will also love to learn more about data. But this section is very, very impactful to me. I love it. In fact, I'm considering crossing to trucking now, especially as Mr. Olaide is just giving us dissecting it, slashing everything. Kudos to you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Olasukomi, for the feedback, and thank you so much. Is there any other person?
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah, good afternoon.
This has really been a good one. As for me, I really like it because basically the kind of role I'm into logistic planning and control. So basically all this data analysis training that we have been using. So at least it brush up more of what I've learned so far in terms of VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, some if, and this last aspect, KPIs, because basically this is the end of the month. I'll be sending out drivers' performance, diesel usage, and all of that. So I'll be inputting what I've learned so far to what I'll be sending out. It's really good. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Sakiru. Thank you very much. It is nice to know that those things you've learned from these sessions, will be applicable in your work. Is there any other person, one last person, before we take our bow and call it a wrap? Is there any other person? You can just go ahead and unmute and say something if there is. Okay. So if there's no other person, I would want to say very big thank you again to everybody that has joined, using your data and your time to join these sessions. Uh, this is proudly supported and organized and supported by Navya Blue Logistics. And like Mr. Lydie has always said, we're into logistics and transportation, consultancy. We render services from training to consultancy, fleet management. We do tracking installation, fuel management, device installation. So if you have any opportunity for us in your organization, please reach out to us. We would be there to, support and give our help. If you need any on the job support, you can reach out to any of us, myself or Mr. Lide would be there to, just advise if you are going through anything at work and you just need professional advice, professional support, just reach out to us. The group would still be very active, would be dropping, since the cohort is specifically for data analysis, whatever we can lay our hands on to support your data analytics journey in the fleet management and logistics space, crossover supply chain, would make sure to keep dropping those updates. For some of us that are on the job board group already, would do well to keep dropping job updates and would appreciate that you keep applying, because that's one of the importance of the community. Would also look forward to organizing sessions in the future where we can network better, get to know ourselves properly. And, like I think Mr. Lasukomi said, if there is chance, we would organize a physical meeting where we can all connect properly, learn from individuals probably ahead of us in the logistics space, in the supply chain space. Just keep stay updated on the group. We'll keep dropping updates and just once in a while check when you see messages. Definitely would be there to give you support and every other thing. And one last thing, if you feel there's more to learn around this data analysis thing for fleet and transport, crossover logistics, and you want a personalized training, we would also be offering that. So if you want a one-on-one session where we can go deeper, dive into more of the functions, dashboards, and everything, you can message myself or Mr. Olaide on the WhatsApp group. Would be there to attend to you. To wrap it up, thank you again. Thank you. I don't know if Mr. Lide has any other thing to say before we take a bow and call it a successful training.
Okay, please confirm you can hear me.
Yes,
Yes,
please.
I just want to say thank you to everyone that has joined. And like Mr. Gideon said, we would always be open to referral contributions. And if you need personalized training, either you need it for yourself or your company when it comes to any of these services we render, would always be at your beck and call to answer to that. Again, I want to say thank you for joining us, and thank you
Okay.
to every other
Thank you,
person.
sir.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you. I thank you, Mr.
Sorry,
Lide. I think
a
Mr.
quick one.
Emmanuel's hand is up. Mr.
A quick
Emmanuel, you
one.
can go ahead.
Yeah, please. I would also like to suggest that maybe you can add mentorship to your the services you could offer. 'Cause I did enjoy the program very well. I would love people to have something like mentorship to mentor people in the field. And some of us who are still in the field, we still have a lot to learn. Like me, person, I know where my weakness are. I would love to have someone mentor me one on one on this, even if not physical, it could be as we did online here. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Manuel. Like I mentioned, if you have any on the job issues, yeah, okay. Maybe I didn't say mentoring in that context. Reach out to us. You can send myself a DM or send Mr. Lize a DM. We would be there to, support you. We are also on the journey to the top of our careers, and it would be nice for us to have people also hold people's hands on that journey. So would love to mentor, would love to work on that journey with you. Just reach out on via WhatsApp. Mr. Laide's number is one of the admins. I'm one of the admins. Any of us would be open to taking you guys on that journey. Thank you very much. And one last thing, please, if you have enjoyed the journey, the only thing you can use to support us, is to share your journey in the last 2 weeks. You can put it up on Instagram and tag Navia Blue Logistics. Our page on LinkedIn. You can just tag us, share what you've learned so that people can also, get to know what we do, and would really appreciate, because that's the only thing you can give to us in return. Thank you very much. We'll take a bow here. Enjoy the rest of the week. God bless you.
Thank you. You have a lovely day too.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone.
Mr. Gideon.